Students, in this video, we will discuss about international business theories from the point of view of a firm. As we have discussed already in our previous video, international business theories has been categorized into two broad categories. First category is about theories from the point of view of a country, and the second category is theories from the point of view of a firm. So first theory which we will be discussing is market imperfection theory. Before moving forward, we should be knowing the meaning of imperfection and perfection. As per economics, we are having two types of market structures. First market structure is perfect market structure, and second is imperfect market structure. Perfect market structure means where there are large number of sellers, large number of buyers. Price has been decided by the industry itself. So sellers are the price taker rather than the price maker. And a minute change in the price won't result in a drastic change in the income. So in case of perfect market structure, new entrant can enter freely and they can exit freely. But biggest drawback of perfect market structure is most of the firms which are operating in perfect market structure earns normal profit. That means if a competition is very tough and the new entrant who enters into a perfect market structure finds it difficult to survive in perfect market structure scenario. So this theory says, the market imperfection theory says, a firm, a company which is planning to expand their business operations into other countries, so they should look for a market which is imperfect. If they enters into a perfect market structure system, so it will become difficult for them to survive for a longer time period, because competition is very tough. They don't have any control on the pricing. Most of the products are homogeneous, so there is no identity that can be gained in a perfect market structure. So this theory says, market imperfection theory says, the firms which is entering into a international market and they are expanding their business into other countries must ensure first that the market structure which they are trying to enter is imperfect. In case of imperfect market structure, companies can decide the price, the product are differentiated based on anything, based on packing, certain features, pricing, brand. There are lots of points of differentiation are there. So what you can do, the firm can decide the price of their own product. They can differentiate their product from the other products which is being sold in the market, and they can capture a certain portion of the market. So if a firm enters into an imperfect market structure, so the chances of survival, chances of earning profit increases rather than entering into a perfect market structure. So what it says, market imperfection theory is a trade theory that arises from the international market where perfect competition does not exist. Common situation that violates perfect competition are market structure like monopolies, monopolistic competition and oligopoly. So monopolies, monopolistic competition and oligopoly are the examples of imperfect market structure. So you must make sure, the firms must make sure when they are entering into international market, so they must be entering into either of the system. Either they are entering into a monopoly kind of market structure, they should be entering into a monopolistic competition market structure, or oligopolies. So in these three market structure, they can earn, they can survive But in case of perfect market structure, the survival of the new entrant is very tough. Next theory which we have is internalization theory. Internalization theory says each and every firm has certain intellectual property right. Either they have advanced technology, they have unique product, they have some know-how, they must be having some kind of intellectual property. And company don't want to share that intellectual property with the other party. So suppose a firm which is operating in Japan and they want to expand their business operations into India. And if they are not willing to share the technology with any of the existing player, so what they have to do? So the Japanese firm which is trying to enter into Indian market without sharing their technology with any of the Indian counterpart. So they must be establishing the entire manufacturing unit by their own. They must be carrying on the manufacturing activity by their own. And distribution, all these things should be managed by the Japanese firm itself. Let's take an example. So Toyota is a Japanese manufacturing firm. And what we find that when Toyota enters into any of the foreign market, so Toyota doesn't transfer the manufacturing activity to any other company. So Toyota never subcontract the manufacturing activity to any other company. So Toyota manufactures the product by its own manufacturing unit. So reason is being because Toyota is trying to manufacture a quality product. They are very much strict regarding quality adherence. So they are trying to maintain a quality standard. So if they share or they subcontract the manufacturing activity to some other counterpart, some other company, so quality standard can be compromised. And Toyota don't want to compromise it, so that's why they are manufacturing the product at their own. So internalization theory means when the firm doesn't enters into a subcontract, doesn't transfer their technology to any other company, and the company manufactures products by its own. So that is known as internalization theory. So what this theory says, when a company should invest or when a company should subcontract particular manufacturing activity to any other company. So there is a single parameter which this theory explains. When you enter into a subcontract, so lots of costs are involved. You enter into a contract, so there are the compliance costs that need to be complied, the maintenance costs that need to be complied, and in case of default, you must be going into some sort of litigation, so that cost should be complied. So when you are entering into a subcontract part, so it involves lots of cost. When you compare that cost with the investment cost you are going to bear, so if the investment cost is less than the transaction cost which you are incurring for entering into a subcontract, so company will decide to establish its own manufacturing unit because establishing its own manufacturing unit is cheaper in comparison to entering into a subcontract agreement. So internalization theory has made it clear. So a firm should manufacture it by its own when the cost of subcontract is higher and cost of investment into a manufacturing activity is lesser. Company will invest and carry on its own manufacturing activity. On the other part, if the cost of investment, cost of establishing a manufacturing unit is more than the cost of entering into a subcontract. So in that case, company will share their manufacturing activity with any other company. Since the cost of transaction is lesser in comparison to cost of carrying on own manufacturing activity and company's sole motive is to earn profit. So in that case, company will be entering into a subcontracting agreement, and they will be sharing and transferring the manufacturing activity to any other company. So internalization theory says the cost should be compared and the economical option should be chosen. Next theory which we have is location specific advantage theory. Location specific advantage theory says when you are planning to invest, when you are planning to carry on your business activity, so you must initially take into consideration the location advantage you must be gaining. If no location advantage is driven by investing in a particular country, so there is no need of investment in that particular country. So what can be the location specific advantage? Sorry, it can be either the market size is very large, the consumers are in large number, so you can explore that particular market. Raw material is available, easily available or available at cheapest rate. Labor is available or labor is available at cheapest rate. Technology is available, infrastructure is available, government policies are in favor, supply chain facility is available. So you take into consideration various factors which suits to your business requirement, and based on that you decide whether you should invest in that particular location or not. So location specific advantage theory says before investing into any country, you must initially analyze and make sure you're driving some sort of location specific advantage. If there is no location specific advantage, there is no need of investing in that particular location. Like example is Ireland. Ireland is very small country, and but it attracts most of the foreign investment. Reason is being the location of Ireland is very strategic for the supply chain purpose. So the company which are trying to take advantage of supply chain facility, so they are investing into Ireland and they're carrying on their manufacturing activity in the Ireland. So it's a location specific advantage. So investing in Ireland, the purpose of investment in Ireland is the supply chain strategic advantage of supply chain. So through that you can uh, transport your goods to most of the European and US continent. So the supply chain facility is available and it has very strategic location advantage. So most of the investment is going to Ireland. So that becomes the advantage of Ireland. In the similar manner, most of the companies are coming and investing in the China. So they're driving some sort of location specific advantage. The advantages can be they're having advanced technology, labor is available, raw material is available. In Asia, they have lots of market which can be explored. So China's neighboring country is India. So India is one of the largest consumer-based market. So the firms which is manufacturing in China can transport those goods to India and explore that market also. So there are lots of location specific advantages available for investing in China, and that's why investment is happening in China and India in Asia continent. So location specific advantage is clear. Next theory and very important theory which we have is eclectic theory. Eclectic paradigm involves three theories. This theory says you cannot decide whether to invest in particular country or not on the basis of a single parameter. That means you cannot decide on the basis of if there is location advantage, we should go for investment. If there is a specific technology which I am possessing, so I should go and invest in at the country. No, this theory says we have to take into consideration three theories, three parameters, and when we combine those three parameters, then we decide whether we should invest in other country or not. So these three parameters are ownership, location, and internalization. Ownership means first the company should make sure whether they are having right on any kind of specific property, it can be advanced technology, it can be a unique product, it can be of any trademark. So anything which a company having ownership of. So once it has been confirmed that the company have some sort of ownership, then they should look for the location specific advantage. Now whether it is beneficial for of establishing their manufacturing or business operation into any other country, any location specific advantages drive or not. Once it has been confirmed that there is a location specific advantage is there, then you are going to analyze whether making investment or going for subcontracting. So which option should be chosen? If the cost of investment is lesser than the cost of subcontracting, then you will be making investment. If cost of investment is higher, you will be going for subcontracting. You are not going to invest in that particular country. So you will be sharing your technology, you will be allowing some other party to use your trademark. So you will be going for any of the option rather than investing your own. So that is electric theory that take into consideration three theories, and based on the analysis of all the three theories at one go, you decide whether we should invest in a particular country or not. So this particular flow chart explains the planning or step of investment, whether the investment will be done by the particular company or not. So that I says ownership. The first the company should ensure whether it has any kind of ownership. If company don't have any kind of ownership, so company should remain at their domestic level. So companies should manufacture domestic level and they should export goods from their domestic level rather than going and investing in any other country. But if the answer is yes, the company has some kind of ownership over advanced technology, unique product, trademark, anything, then they have to analyze second step, that is location. So if you're planning to invest in any other country, so you must be going for some kind of location specific advantage, whether the manufacturing activity there is cheaper or the it has a large consumer based market, so it's a larger market to explore. So anything, so any location specific advantage you must be looking for. If you find the location there is no location specific advantage, location which you are planning to invest in, if there is no location specific advantage, so you should remain in domestic level, manufacture and export goods. But if the answer is yes, there is a location specific advantage, then you should be going for the final step analysis, that is internalization. So if you are having if the cost of investment is less or cost of investment is higher, so if the cost of investment is higher, so you will not be investing in any other country. What you will be allowing, you will be allowing a license, you will be allowing other party to carry on manufacturing and you are allowing them a license. But if the cost of investment is lesser, so and the answer is yes, then you will be going and investing in other country. So these three steps should be ensured before making investment in other country. So electric theory confirms whether FDI is going to happen or not, and that depends on three step analysis. So that's all about electric theory. Thank you.